If you're wondering, why can't I squeeze a diamond out of this turd? Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, I'm Bobo, and just know that this is usually a mountain biking channel. I do mountain bike specific content, but over the years, I've gotten so many comments inquiring about my process in terms of how I edit YouTube videos. So today, we're gonna talk about how I edit YouTube videos, everything from where I start with a concept to the evolution of that story through editing and all the way to the final product. And if you clicked on this video to learn quick keys, this is not the video for you. C, razor tool, V, pointer, Command C, copy. Command V, paste. Command S, save. And most importantly, Apple Z. Sometimes I'll say something regrettable in public and I instantly realize I cannot Apple Z that moment. That's right, we're not gonna be talking about quick keys or what software you need to edit with. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's Final Cut Pro and it's Adobe Premiere. That's right, we're not gonna be talking about any of that technical bullshit. Today, we're gonna focus on creative strategies, some very simple things that I think are gonna get you on track to becoming a much better editor. .9% of failed projects fail before you even roll camera. Chances are your projects are failing because of a lack of planning, or as we in the film and television industry call it, does that sound douchey? We refer to this as pre-production. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It is the phase before you ever start principal photography, okay? The planning phase, pre-production. When it comes to me personally, I do a lot of sketch videos. And when I do those sketch videos, I write a script. I want to be prepared when I go out there, as prepared as possible. So I like to do storyboards. I like to line those storyboards up on a line script so I know what parts of the script have been covered. And then when I go out to film, there is no mystery behind it. There is no grand confusion of, oh my God, how do we do this? How do we film this? I have it right here in front of me. Because trust me when I say this, I know that this is an editing tutorial, but this is where we start because the last thing that you want to do is show up to edit your project and you didn't film the stuff that you desperately needed to make the project work. By the way, today's episode is sponsored by Hawthorne Men's Personal Care Products. Go click the link in the description below and take their personality quiz, where they design a specific cologne for you based on your answers. And I took the quiz earlier and I gotta say, it was a lot of fun. So click the link below, show some support to them because they support me. And once again, a huge shout out to Hawthorne for sponsoring this video. All right, let's get into a project of mine over here and start talking about actually editing. It's been 5 fucking minutes in the video and you probably already clicked off. Right, here we go. First of all, organization, okay? Organization is key. Be organized. If you start a project organized, you're gonna make life easier on yourself. And what do I mean by organized? Well, check a look here. If you look at my Premiere project, we got kind of a blank looking deal going on right here, but over in the project window, we have all these individual folders. We have a folder for assets. Some of those, like I got screenshots, arrows, different sound effects in there. I have a folder for my titles. I have a folder for the GoPro Hero 7. I have a folder for the Hero 5. I got a folder for my music, for the voiceover. It's real easy to want to just drop all your footage in and get to work because you're so stoked on everything that you edited. You're all jonesed up about it. You want to start cutting, but let me tell you, be organized first. And this should kind of be your template moving forward with all your projects. This is what all my projects look like. That's right, organize your projects, okay? The biggest reason you want to be organized is because it's gonna cut down or at least eliminate some of the stress. And editing already can be an extremely stressful situation. So get organized, that goes a long way. It keeps the stress and anxiety down, which will allow you to be more focused on telling a great story. Now let's pull Premiere back up. And what I like to do is I create a sequence folder. So you can go down here and you can click a new folder and a new folder will pop up and you'll be able to label that sequences, which I have, or sequence bin, whatever you like. And then we're gonna start a brand new sequence. So Command N, and I'm gonna label that first sequence master. So what we're gonna do next is we're going to drag all of our footage. Now, granted, this may not be everyone's approach to editing, but this is how I start. You just gotta go for it. You gotta get into it. I've never been one to ease into the pool. I dive, cannonball directly in, and I just like to drag everything in so that I can see how much footage I have first off. And then you can look at your timeline, and now you start to understand the scale of your project, what you're dealing with. I got 3 hours here, and I'm aiming for a 12-minute episode. That means I'm gonna have to be very, very selective with what makes the final edit. And that leads me to my very next point. Do not be married to your footage.
Here comes the bride, la 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 la.
Hey, it's all good. It's a mistake that all of us make, okay? We go out, we film a bunch of stuff, and we immediately fall in love with it. And I'll admit, sometimes I also have a hard time letting go.
Never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. I promise. Mwah. Oopsie, just let go.
Never let go, Jack. That's bullshit. There was plenty of room on that board for Jack. That's right, this is the phase in which we refer to it as the rough cut phase, which is just a slop cut. You're just gonna drop everything in and you're gonna get through it as quickly as possible. Cut that shit out, get it down as far as you can. At that point, I wanna keep that master timeline there. So I'm gonna copy all that stuff and paste it into a new timeline, and I will call that sequence Final Cut. And then I am gonna start the process over again because that master timeline will now never be f***ed with. It's there. I have peace of mind about it. I can do whatever I want. I can cut whatever I want on this next sequence and not worry about it because the work is still there saved. I think it's gonna give you peace of mind and it's gonna inspire confidence for you to try new things with your editing.
I'm so scared.
Sometimes it's hard to cut that last 5 minutes out. So what I'll do is I'll find somebody, and this works out great for you, not so much for your spouse, roommate, or whoever you end up recruiting for this, but find somebody to sit down and watch them watch your edit. For whatever reason, it becomes a lot more obvious what can stay and what needs to go. All right, so once we get our final edit time down, whatever it might be, as long as we're happy with the story, we think that what we've done is assembled the best story possible, it's time to finalize our project. Now, if you'll notice, there's a lot more to finalizing the project than simply laying in music. Because look at all these other things that I have going. These are actually, all these little clips are individual sound effects. I have sound effects paired up with transitions. I have sound effects paired up with just about everything. Trust me when I say that. The visual of your project is 50% of your project, okay? Sound is the other 50%. If something happens on screen, there should be a sound effect representing it. Not only do I put in music, I put it in sound effects, but we're also gonna add in transitions. Now, don't get slap happy with your transitions, okay? Transitions are usually meant to get us to another scene without being too jarring for the viewer, or transition is also primarily used as representing a passing of time. And don't forget to mix your audio, people. Mix that shit. It's too loud. It's always too loud. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is always the story. So focus on telling the best story possible and be brave. Don't be afraid to fail over and over again. You will get better as time goes on, and the more you practice these simple strategies, the more they'll become a part of what you do.
You know what else should become a part of your routine? Smelling good and looking good. Hawthorne. That's right, today's episode is sponsored by Hawthorne, personal care made for you. That's right, if it wasn't for companies like Hawthorne sponsoring these videos, they wouldn't be possible. So do me a favor, go click the link and prove to them that you watched this episode. And while you're there, be sure to take their tailoring quiz, where you answer a few questions about your hair type, skin type, shower habits, and lifestyle. And based on those answers, they build a custom cologne specific for you. But they don't just do cologne, that's right, they also specialize in a multitude of different men's care products. Don't forget to use the promo code BOBO for 10% off of your custom cologne today. Be sure to go check them out, and once again, a huge thanks to Hawthorne for sponsoring this episode. Hawthorne, personal care made for you.
All right, that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If there are some things that you wish I would have covered, let me know about them in the comments below. Or if you have any questions in general, put those in the comments as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. You've been editing with BOBO.